Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal is expected to deliver ruling on two very important issues. One bordering on whether or not the tribunal can admit witnesses that have been subpoenaed by the petitioners to testify, and the other is if the tribunal will allow the recount of ballot papers that were used in some local government areas. Opposing to the application by the petitioners for the recount of the ballot papers used for the conduct of the 2016 Edo State governorship election, counsel to the second respondent, Ken Mozia SAN, who adopted the submission of the first respondent, said the tribunal lacks the jurisdiction to consider the application made, since same is not made in compliance with the mandatory provision of paragraph 47, sub-paragraph 2 of the Electoral Act. The Respondents' Council maintained that the application by the petitioners is a subtle attempt to cause the tribunal to amend the petition, which, according to him, is contrary to the pleadings of the petitioners in their petition. On his part, counsel to the third respondent, Rotimi Ogueson SAN, also disapproved the application of the petitioners. According to him, the application is not only irregular but unknown to law, since there is no application by the petitioners to tender the documents. The Respondents' Council said recounting the ballot papers is tantamount to usurping the rights of INEC, who had already counted the ballot papers on the day of the election at the various polling units. Responding, counsel to the petitioners, Malam Yusuf Ali SAN, said the application is not supposed to be objected by anybody who has nothing to hide in the matter. He said he is shocked that INEC, who conducted the election, is worried about recounting of ballot papers. The Petitioners' Council informed the tribunal that Election Petition Tribunal is to ensure trial of election process, adding that every aggrieved party should be given the opportunity to prove its case. Malam Ali said as petitioners, they have applied orally to the tribunal previously and it was granted. According to him, paragraph 46 sub 5 of the 4th schedule of the electoral law states that there is no provision that all applications must be written, as argued by the Defense Counsel, while maintaining that the tribunal has the powers to grant the application of recounting the ballot papers. Described the move by the second respondent in objecting the application as acting against their own pleadings during the pre-hearing when they agreed to the recount of ballot papers. Summing up his argument, the Petitioners' Council said the fair hearing principle is a locomotion for justice and prayed the tribunal to overrule the objections of the respondents. Chairman of the tribunal reserved ruling on the matter. Meanwhile, in another development, the tribunal has overruled the objection of counsel to respondents opposing the admissibility of witnesses that are subpoenaed to testify before the tribunal, saying that the objection lacks merit. In his ruling, Justice Ahmed Badamasi said witnesses that are subpoenaed are competent to testify, more so as the respondents were put on notice and the petitioners also pleaded it in their petition. Counsel to parties comments on the ruling.
Things are going on very well. We took arguments on one aspect of the matter. The ruling was delivered on another aspect of the matter. I think we are making good progress towards the determination of this petition. By the grace of God, there is hope.
The only ruling really given was whether we had a right of reply after the argument. And the tribunal upheld our position that we ought to have the final say. And the tribunal allowed us to reply on points of law. On the issue of whether or not a subpoenaed witness can testify and whether or not you can rely on his witness deposition. But the tribunal was of the view that insofar as the tribunal has issued a subpoena, the tribunal has the powers to command anybody to come and testify, and that the tribunal has done so.
After over 2 hours of arguments from both parties on whether or not the tribunal should agree to the recounting of ballot papers used for the conduct of the September 28th Edo governorship election, Chairman of the tribunal, Justice Ahmed Badamasi, has fixed Thursday this week for a ruling on the matter. From the Edo State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Benin, Best Mbiere reporting.